Eat with all these cocktails is really what I always love to think about, because when I had my restaurant, it was the first time that I had to consciously think about not just the cocktails and their progression, but what they were being paired with as well. So I got really into making different dishes. A lot of it, my influence is really Japanese, meaning Greek. I'm half Greek, half Italian. So I loved fusing the two things, but I also love fish so much. So I'm gonna make it really simple. So the whole idea is to have these kind of one bites and these just kind of like simple explosions of flavor that can pair really well with my roquette or a nice dirty martini. Things that would kind of really start pretty much when people come in the door. That's it. And it's crudo. It's a tuna crudo. Crudo in Italian means raw. So this is almost like the equivalent of Italian version of sashimi. Sashimi being the raw fish that you get in sushi that usually comes without the rice. Usually dip it into some kind of ponzu sauce or tamari or soy sauce. But this is really, really simple. So I'm going to use an ahi tuna. Ahi tuna actually comes from the yellowfin tuna. And ahi in Hawaiian means tuna. So that's where the name comes from. I love using ahi because it's a really mild, thick fish. It's just has a great consistency. It's not fishy. So it's really the things you put on it really make it. And it's also easy to cut. It's what you would call kind of sushi quality, sushi grade. And you definitely can find this anywhere. You know, this is such a common fish that people sear this, that people make tuna tartare. Almost every wedding that you'll ever go to has a tuna tartare in it. I guarantee you that, okay? So I'm going to use my bread knife again because it's so great. Now you want to cut these slices thick but not too thick. Probably comes out to about 1/8 of an inch. Now, as you can see, depending on the cut that you get, that's probably a big slice for one person. So what you can do is you can cut these. So we might even do little 8s. But this is a perfect little plate. And it's so soft and delicious. And look at that color. It just really looks fresh, you know. Yeah, I might do, here, that was a perfect slice. Let's do maybe 1 or 2 more. The whole point of this is, you know, one of the things I love to create, which is what I did at Mon Li, is the whole idea is like having this one bite to go with your, because the cocktails that I served in that circumstance, they weren't full cocktails, right? They were small little cocktails. They were meant to have 1 or 2 sips on them. And these are really intended to be that one bite. You know, what is that? That one little appetizer that kind of opens everything up. It sets the tone for the evening. It's opening up your palate. It's not quite an amuse-bouche, which means, you know, like an explosion or a happiness in the mouth. It's more like just something that's starting to become a little substantial. I'm going to cut 1 more slice so I can put it in the middle. And what I'll probably, these are perfect. Put that in the middle. And then the first simple thing I'll do is you want to put some olive oil over that. So we'll put a little olive in it. And what I love is you're building this on the plate. That's the whole point, because what you're doing is you're taking it, maybe you'll take a little fork and drizzle it around it. Then I'm going to use a little bit of a squeezed citrus on there. I'm going to use Meyer lemon. So I'll squeeze that. Then I'll do a little bit of black pepper. So real simple stuff here. Now you can use any herb of your choice. I'm actually going to add an herb to this. You don't have to, but I'm going to add an herb to this. I'm going to add a little bit of fresh dill. And I'm going to chop that up pretty fine. So again, be careful of your hands, but this is a really nice herb that I can cut quickly. You can use dried herbs, but fresh herbs work better. Basil is fantastic with this. The whole point is sprinkling that over there. And then to me, the most important element of this, pretty much, is the sea salt that goes on top. And I love using Maldon salt, Maldon sea salt flakes, because you can see it's those big flakes. If I can show you right there. So what's great is these big flakes of salt, and then you can lay those right on top, right? So that whole bite. You know, it's so funny. You think of fish, you're like, well, it's in the sea. Why isn't it salty? And this just adds a nice little element to it. And then if we want to just kick it up a notch too, sorry, if you want to, what I like to do is also I'm going to grate a little bit of a Seville orange, which is a sour orange. If you just want to elevate this a little bit. And there you go. This is very simple. It's just a tuna crudo. You've got olive oil, black pepper, Maldon salt, and a little bit of dill. And listen, if you want to just kind of elevate the experience of that, you could get really cool little forks, you know, that you just kind of add to the side that people can pick on. And I know you can kind of present this out here like this. But basically, when people come in, they've got their little fork. They can have a couple bites, and you serve them the martini or the raclette.